All right, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into something huge, a massive shift that's happening right under our noses in the world of AI SEO. We're going to break down how the way we find things online is changing for good and what it really takes to stay visible in this brand new AI-driven world. I mean, really think about it. When was the last time you looked something up? Did you get that classic list of 10 blue links? Or did you get a big summary right at the top? Or maybe even a video that answered your question? Yeah, things are definitely not what they used to be.
Okay, so let's get into why everything looks so different. It's because that simple, familiar search bar, well, it's just not the only game in town anymore. The whole idea of what it means to search for something is being flipped on its head. I mean, look at all the places we get answers now. We're getting them straight from Google's AI overviews, we're having actual conversations with engines like ChatGPT and Perplexity, and we're finding stuff on platforms that we used to think of as just for fun. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, even LinkedIn. These are all powerful search engines now. And all of this leads to a pretty stark new reality. This quote from our source material really says it all. The old playbook, just trying to get to the top of Google's search results, that's just not enough to get you noticed anymore.
So, if the old way is fading out, what's the new way? Well, that brings us to the big question for today's explainer. What in the world is AI SEO? Okay, so here's the deal. AI SEO is the modern game plan. It's a strategy that's all about making your website, your content, and just your entire digital footprint so strong, so clear, and so trustworthy that AI systems actually want to pick you out of the crowd and recommend you as the best answer, no matter where somebody is searching. And this slide, wow, this really spells out the huge mental shift we're talking about. The old goal was pretty simple. Just get to that #1 spot on a Google page. But the new goal, it's way, way bigger. It's to be the go-to, recommended, trusted answer, absolutely everywhere.
So how do you actually pull that off? It's not magic, I promise. It's a real strategy. Let's walk through the modern playbook for making sure AI can actually find and trust your business.
Here it is, the whole process in 6 steps. You got to start with research, right? You need to know your business, and you really need to know what your competition is up to. Then you make sure your website is technically sound so AI can easily read it. After that, you build a smart content strategy, and then you actually optimize all that content. Step 5 is all about building authority and trust. And finally, you have to keep an eye on everything, see what's working, and adjust. It's a constant loop.
Now, when it comes to your content, the name of the game is being helpful. You want to create stuff that gives the answer right away. Think about it like you're organizing a library. You have these big pillar pages, which are like the main definitive books on a topic. Then you have all these cluster pages that are like the different chapters, diving into all the specific details. That kind of clear structure makes it super easy for an AI to understand what you're an expert in.
And on the other side of the coin, you have the technical stuff, which is really all about building trust. And it's more than just your website. It's making sure your brand's name, your address, all your key details are exactly the same everywhere online. It's called entity SEO. Basically, when an AI sees that consistent, correct information about you all over the place, it confirms that you're legit. You're a credible source it can actually rely on. Okay, so you do all this work. What's the actual payoff? When you put all these pieces together, what does success even look like in this new world that goes way beyond a simple Google search? Well, the results are very real. You end up with a clear plan for growth, a website that AI systems can actually make sense of, and content that shows up in all these new AI-powered places. And that means you build a stronger local reputation and you start getting discovered on the social platforms where your customers are already hanging out. And this slide right here is perfect because it shows you exactly how this plays out in the real world. If you're a real estate agent, it means being the recommended broker when someone asks an AI for help. If you're in healthcare, it's about being the trusted source for an AI-generated health answer. You can see how every industry that needs to be found online has a real stake in this game. So let's wrap this all up. What is the single biggest idea you should take away from all of this? What does the future of being discovered online really come down to? It's this. In a world run by AI, the brands that are going to win aren't necessarily the ones with the flashiest ads. They're going to be the ones that are the most clear, the most organized, and the most trustworthy. The ones that make it incredibly easy for an AI to understand what they do and recommend them with confidence. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought. As AI starts answering more and more of our questions, it's going to have to pull that information from somewhere. The real question is, how are you going to make sure that when it speaks, it's your voice, your expertise, and your brand that people are hearing? Thanks for watching.